So let's get started. The first thing you need is to download and install PortalKeeper. Also, as you can see in the minimum requirements, PortalKeeper requires RAC shared module installed first. It contains core RAC assemblies. You can also download RAC shared from Codeplex. I have already installed the two modules in two DNN instances. One of them is a DNN 733. And the other one is the DNN 481, released back in 2008. DNN Captcha hasn't actually changed much since then. Let's log in as a host user and get to the module. The first time you instantiate the module on a page, you must click a command button to update the site's web.config file. This will trigger a site restart. Also, all DNN versions might display error messages while loading the configuration for the first time. That's because some of the default agents use new types that did not exist at the time. You can safely ignore them, although the corresponding agents will have missing parts. I have done that registration step on the most recent version. So here is the main configuration form after registration. The 5 parent tabs correspond to the 5 agent types that the module currently supports. A number of additional agent types are planned for future versions. The Captcha replacement agents are part of a control adapter. Traditional ASP.NET control adapters are defined in a dedicated static configuration file. They allow you to adapt the behavior of ASP.NET control types by overwriting certain methods. PortalKeeper adapter agents are declared dynamically. They additionally let you handle control events or child control events for more flexibility. Let's browse our agent. The description contains a series of instructions to activate the agent. Let's simply follow them. Register a key for your site. Google Recaptcha requires you to register your site, which is free, and will give you a pair of a public and a private key. They are used for client-side display and for server-side validation, respectively. I have already generated those keys. Let's just keep them for later use. We then proceed with the next instruction. Enter your public key in the DNN Captcha handler render corresponding parameter and your private key in the DNN Captcha handler validate corresponding parameter. Our adapter has two handlers, one to change the display and one to change the validation. Each one is an independent agent with dedicated parameters. We enter the keys in the corresponding parameters. Let's now enable, save, and test our adapter. So here's a bad answer. And here's the correct answer. That looks good. Let's implement the same steps on our DNN 481 instance. So here's for the keys. Enable Let's test. That's it. Now, if you have such an old DNN instance running, this might not be the worst of your problems with a bunch of other unpatched vulnerabilities. But if upgrading is not an option, there are yet other useful agents you could activate. In the next part of that tutorial, we'll have a quick glimpse at them. This marks the end of the first part of our tutorial. You may skip the rest of the video if you were just looking to address the spam registration issue. Of course, you should keep an eye on following DNN upgrades, since the DNN Captcha logic is likely to change again soon. But then you can simply disable the adapter once the core DNN publishes a different solution.